Shalom, shalom. Man, in today's video, man, I'm going to talk about a topic that men should not be divided on. But it's a constant, topic in the media, and you got men on both sides, in opposition about this issue. Let's talk about it.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room, you can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave like everyone else. You were born into bondage. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
All praise to the Most High Yah Shalom. Thank you for tuning in to another Righteous Spirit-filled episode. Today I'm back at it in them trenches, handling that kingdom business. Man, today is another, video geared towards making biblical masculinity great again. That's what we're going to do with this one, making biblical masculinity great again. I want to start this off by asking the question, whose job or responsibility as a man is it to protect you and your family, you and your loved ones as a man? Man, you see the thumbnail, man, and you have men that are fighting tooth and nail to take the Second Amendment away from people to be able to, protect themselves. And man, we see in the book of Genesis, man, Abraham had trained servants that had to be used in order to defend his brother's honor. And man, I tell you, man, you truly got to look at the way a man thinks when it comes to his stance on this topic, because there's going to be two types of men. There's going to be the man that says, you know what, man, I assume the responsibility of taking care of and protecting my family and my loved ones. And then you've got the man that says, you know what, man, I'm going to rely on, the police officers. I'm going to rely on the sheriffs to defend my family. And the reality is, man, those men that think like that would not survive if actual tribulation or conflict or battle comes. They wouldn't survive. They'd get weeded out so quick, because by the time they realize, their poor judgment and not arming themselves to protect themselves, they've already been taken advantage of or wiped off the, the face of the earth. You really have to think long and hard as a man. Oftentimes when you call the police, man, they oftentimes, with their response time, especially in big cities, man, they often show up well after something has happened. The detectives are showing up once somebody has been shot, once somebody has been robbed. The detectives, the ones that's figuring out the case, are the last ones on the scene. And I'm telling you, as a man, you better get real serious about protecting your family in the last days, because, when criminals are coming to do you bodily harm, they're not waiting on you to place 911. They're not trying to even the odds and pretty much, wait on the authorities to come to make it a fair fight. No, that's the advantage they're hoping they have, that they can take advantage of you. And you got some men out there that are saying, we need to, take the guns away. And really, I want you to understand, man, it's easy to oppress a man that has no fight or has no ability to defend or protect himself. It's very easy to, overthrow, to oppress, and overtake a man like that. And you have to think about a man that is anti-protecting himself and his family has a weak state of mind. That's what it comes down to. It has a weak, docile, effeminate state of mind. And you are in the capacity of a woman thinking you are entitled protection and another man to lay his life down, but you won't even lay your life down for the sake of your own doggone family. That's the reality of that conversation, that it doesn't matter whether it's politicians, it doesn't matter whether it's religious men, it doesn't matter who's having that conversation. If you're on the side of opposition, man, that means your mind is effeminate as a man, because a woman can walk around, you know, entitled to the protection of a man, entitled to the protection of her covering. But we got men out here moving like this in this daytime and hour. And the Messiah told the man to, you know, sell his cloak and get a sword. You got to think, okay, if you were to actually do that and get a sword, you'd be able to defend yourself. But what happens when the criminals, you know, got firearms and they're not using swords? Man, you're outmatched. So what do? Man, you match it with something to defend yourself, modern day, which is the firearm. There's just so many conversations. I can't even get, like, soon as I hear a politician say something about removing the Second Amendment or men protecting their families and you know, not wanting to hunt and things like that, man, I'm checked out as soon as they say that foolishness, because they're coming from a worldly stance. They're not coming from a biblical stance. You know, and women out here, you know, women truly have to look at these men in a different light, because, man, how are you capable of protecting your family, you know, when we know criminals are ravaging homes in the last days and things like that, taking advantage of whoever they can take advantage of, and they're doing this with firearms, and here you are, don't even want to arm yourself with a butter knife. Here you are talking about turn the other cheek, and that's another passage people take out of context when somebody is trying to, you know, do bodily harm to you. Man, that wasn't no passage to turn the other cheek and walk away so they can shoot you dead in your back. Defending yourself is a biblical concept based upon Torah. But once again, we live in Western culture that, you know, men want majority of religious men want nothing to do with Torah. And this is why they're in the mental state that they're in. They got a poor foundation logically. What do you mean as a man, you know, you've got the job of being the head of your family, the protector and the provider, and you're going to call 911 and hide in a closet and wait on somebody else to come defend what should be your honor? You know, another man to pull up and defend your doggone wife, your doggone children. Man, that's a poor state of a man. That's a poor caliber of a man. And like I said, man, that's just the resemblance of an effeminate mind. A man, you know, a male in a male's body, but has the mind of a woman, just thinking somebody else is gonna protect him, and he don't have to do it. He can save face and not have to shed any blood. And then you've got the men on the other side that, hey, when it comes to protecting their family, bloodshed or no bloodshed, we're gonna do what we got to do. We're gonna handle business. Because you got men out here that are truly walking in their biblical masculinity, and then you got these hybrid men, these metrosexuals in these cities that, you know, crime is running rampant. They never have a solution. They're never, never going to be able to generate a solution because they're soft in the mind. They don't have a warrior mindset. Close to the Yah Ministries, kicking it gun barrel straight.